What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome to the call. Good to see you here. Before we really get started, please, would you do me a quick favor and type a big yes in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can see me? We got a big yes if you can hear me and see me. Okay. Oh man. Wow. There's a lot of yeses here. Okay. We got Brent says yes, Rob says yes, Art says yes, Dale says yes, Alan, Anoop, Jeff, Ken, Nicole. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you so much. Everybody, welcome to today's session. I am super excited. Glad you're here with me today because you're about to meet somebody who's literally cracked the code on one of the hardest parts of building any business online. Can anybody guess what that is? Can anybody guess what the one of the hardest parts? I tell you what, I struggled with this for a long time too. Anybody can guess that? All right, we got a couple people are right. Keegan, you got it right. Nicole, you got Nicholas, you got it right. Absolutely. It is getting traffic. Getting traffic. My guest today is Beverly Samuel. And if you're struggling to get your eyes or get eyes on your content and generate leads or grow an audience that actually buys from you, then you're in for a real treat. She started with a tiny little audience, about 23 people that were just her friends and family. And we've all been there. You know, I used to get the post that was like, "Hi, mom." And it was only my mom commenting on stuff, right? But she started with just those 23 followers. And she has built a loyal following of over 400,000 people. 400,000 people, that's a lot of people in less than 6 months, which is incredible because my audience is even smaller and I've been doing this for over a decade. And it's gnarly that she was able to grow that fast. In fact, she was pulling in more than one lead per minute at one point using completely free traffic. Can you believe that? That's crazy. And no, she didn't pay for ads. She didn't buy clicks. She didn't buy the shout outs. She used a smart, very smart, repeatable system and strategy that you can use too, even if you're starting from scratch, if you've never done this stuff before. And honestly, what I really love about Beverly is that she teaches in a way that makes it feel doable. And I think that's really important. Her methods are simple. You know how much I love simplicity. They're authentic and they're designed just for regular people like you and me who just want to finally get traction online. So, whether you're an affiliate marketer or a coach or a course creator, or just someone who needs leads coming into your pipeline every day, Beverly is about to open your eyes, honestly, to what's truly possible. And I want you to grab your notebook. Please turn off all your distractions. This thing is a distraction machine. Turn it off and really pay close attention. She's giving us her time, and I really appreciate that. So, you're going to learn from someone who's not just talking about traffic, not just talking about this stuff, but actually living and breathing it. So, please, everybody, help me welcome our friend Beverly. Everybody in the chat, please type, "Hi, Beverly." And Beverly, you there? Oh, there you are.
I am here, and hey, I'm curious about Keegan's comment about dad talks about almost nothing, but I assume he means traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Rob, Karam, Nicholas, Anoop. Oh, traffic. Yeah, Keegan. Awesome. Yeah.
I'm gonna let her take over the
And
call here, guys. Thank you for
okay.
joining. I'm gonna blind myself and mute myself.
Okay, I am going to share my screen. Oh, sharing is not turned on. I'm sending the request. All right, let me
You should
try
be
that.
good to go now.
There
Sorry
we
about
go.
that.
Yeah, no problem. There we go. Okay, so let me find the Zoom again. Okay, all right, here we go. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do want to share this with you. And so I know you can see me, I know you can hear me. I'm not even going to ask that, but I do want to show you, how I grew this list of over 400,000 people in just 6 months. It was quick. And Jeremy said gnarly. I was going to ask, are you from California? And then how I got them to pay me $4,137 in one day. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And drop in the chat for me, please. What you want to get out of this training today. And let's see if I can even see the chat. There we go. Bring the chat back up. And that way I can kind of see, if we're on the right track, what you wanted to get out of this training today. Now, secret, secrets, says Karam. Now, normally, what I hear from people is that they want to know what to do to get more eyeballs on their content. Like, what's the biggest thing, want to turn views into leads. Okay, so getting traffic, money. Vincent wants money out of this. That's hilarious. They want to know what tech to use sometimes as well, how to grow their audience so they can start building their business and getting commissions. And some are interested in integrating AI. Jeff, yeah, it's out there. So if if these sound like you, let me know. We're going to talk about these, starting with the money. So people tell me all the time that they start a business and they keep investing and investing and investing, buying all these shiny objects, thinking, okay, surely this must be the missing piece. If I get this right, I'll be successful. Just to find out that it wasn't the missing piece, or it was too complicated or too convoluted to implement, or there was too much software, to figure out, or it took too long to implement. So, when something has a lot of moving pieces, it can take you forever to get everything untangled and put together properly. And people quit during that time, unfortunately. Or the next shiny thing pops up and you get distracted with that. So your money goes down the drain and your business goes nowhere, really. And maybe you've been online just about every day, struggling to get your business, turn into something that works for you, instead of the other way around, you working for your business, like working hard for your business, which is what most people do. And far too many of them, again, quit in frustration. And I was about there myself, and way back then. And some of you might have been online for years with nothing to show for it. Okay. People tell me this all the time. They've been online for years and have not made even a quarter. And to me, that's sad, because I'm sure they've invested time, if nothing else, but usually invest money and they haven't made any kind of return whatsoever. Struggling with the tech. Tech is one of the hardest humps to get over, when you're new and doing it by yourself. And it's the reason many people quit their dreams before they even start. Even for people who are experienced, tech can be a huge barrier. Yeah, Nicholas says, me too. It can be a huge barrier to growing. All right. Another reason people have nothing to show for their efforts is that they couldn't get social media figured out. The whole social media marketing piece, if that's you, let me know in the chat. You have to figure out how to capture attention, then you have to keep it, and then you have to move people into your audience and then move them to buy. You want them to buy something, and it can take a very long time to do that. Sometimes the training takes too long, and there are too many moving pieces to that as well. And so those are all valid reasons that people are online for a long time and don't have anything to show for it. Or, they're struggling trying to launch a website. How many of you have a website? Okay, I had one. You pay someone a pretty penny to build this thing, and unlike in the movies, they don't come. So if you build it, they will come. No, they won't, because that's not how it works. So I did this myself back in the day, 2017. I think I put my website out there, and I thought, okay, once I get it live, people will just kind of rush there and start buying stuff. 43 of them. Wait, a website, Keegan? I hope that's not what you mean. Oh gosh, that's a lot of websites. Yeah. So yeah, people did not run to my website like I thought they would. As soon as they went live, I thought they would just rush it, buy stuff, hire me, buy my book, whatever. And none of that happened. None of it happened. And now it just sits there taking up space on the internet. I don't even visit it anymore. And so it's just digital junk that's sitting out there doing nothing. And depending on what business you're in, You may not even need a website, but people are still out there paying for this and waiting for it to become live before they actually take any action. And so that's where they stay stuck, and maybe your funnels and squeeze pages aren't converting or aren't working like you thought they would. Could be they were too confusing. If you're using Go High Level, and a lot of people get stuck on that because there's a lot of tech there. It's confusing, it's technical, people don't know what to do with it to get it running like a well-oiled machine. And so, get it running so you can step away and make money in your sleep. That's what we all want, right? That's the dream. Money in your sleep, every single day. But it's not working that way. And, you have to actually, do a lot to get over this hump of squeeze pages and funnels and all of these things. So if that's your issue, let me know as well. For me, I started, emails was a big deal for me. It really is the most effective way to communicate with your leads, excuse me, if you can get it working right. But let me tell you, it is its own beast. Maybe you're not good at emails, don't know what to send, how often to send them. Let me know in the chat if that is you. You have to work on deliverability. For one, keeping them out of the spam and junk folders and getting them into the inboxes. And then there's a question of, okay, well, how do you write good enough headlines to get people to open your emails? Okay. And then you have to be good at writing copy. So once they open, they actually click your link. And that's not all, because then like I said, it's a huge beast. And once they click your link, you have to have something good on the other side of that link. A good landing page, a good offer for them to purchase when they do click. And so it is, again, its own beast. A lot of moving pieces with emails. And who's tried being on all the social media platforms? Tell me, how many platforms are you on right now? Just drop it in the chat if you're on multiple platforms. I know people who are try to be on all of them. So Nicholas says two. Keegan says four. That's quite a lot, actually. Who else? How many platforms are you on? Ken says three. So, the difficulty is nice to be out there and be everywhere when you can, but then you kind of struggle to understand the different algorithms, which honestly, to me, when I first started, it felt more like voodoo than anything. And you're trying to keep up on all the trends on each one. And while trying to not get banned or suspended, that's happening a lot these days. People are getting their content removed, their accounts removed. And so you're working so hard on these platforms, and you're spreading yourself so thin that maybe it makes sense why you're not being as successful as you want to be. Brent says, haven't really used the platforms. Ooh, okay. That is unusual. That's good. So I guess curious how you're getting traffic. Are you buying traffic? So drop me a me in the chat if you feel like you've tried everything. You've exhausted every avenue, and you're pulling your hair out at this point, a curse in the universe, because you just don't understand why. We're doing all the things. So says me, a few me's coming in. Not sure how to use the platform, so haven't tried. Okay, pretty much so, says Nicholas. Okay, yeah. So you're doing all this stuff, and you're not sure why. When you're doing all the stuff you're told to do, you're being in all the places you're told to be, and really putting in the hours, that you're just not being as successful in your business as you want to be or you should be. So what's the one thing that you're missing in your online business? Anybody want to hazard a guess? Let me know in the chat. What is the one thing that you are missing? Is it funnels, copywriting skills, a list, making sales? Okay. So Ken says list, Nicholas says making sales. People tell me, oh, funnels, copywriting skills, better autoresponder. Any of those resonate? Higher commissions. Someone told me that they needed a partner once, and I thought, okay, well, I found that funny because I felt that way in the very beginning, and I realized that it was just fear. I thought, okay, I need somebody to kind of hold my hand and walk me through, but it was just that little bit of fear. I see getting attention, success at the B2B level. All right, more traffic, says Keegan. Yeah, so basically, if I told you all those things that, we talked about before, all the tech stuff, the websites, the domains, the emails, autoresponders, funnels, all those things are secondary. And you guys are right. And we talked about this when we first came on anyway. But there's just, one thing that matters. All else is a distant second. And I tried all these things that a lot of people have tried to be successful. And then I realized I was just missing this one thing, and that is traffic. So you all, pretty much said it. So the list and getting attention and more traffic. Exactly. That is exactly it. Traffic is all that matters, nothing else. Okay. You can have the best offer in the world. It doesn't matter. And if you don't have traffic, what's the point of having, an awesome program or product to send people to? Because there is nothing. You can't send people to it. Then you don't have people. And so I had a call. I coach for a the high ticket clients of Super Affiliate, Wayne Crow. And so I coach his VIPs. And I had a kind of a non-argument with one of the VIPs. And so I was telling him, what I tell everybody, traffic is the only thing that matters. All the tech stuff, because people get stuck on the tech all the time. They never move forward, and they end up kind of just quitting in frustration when the thing that they really need is traffic. That's the thing they should be focused on, is traffic. And so I had this non-argument with this guy because he did not agree. And so, but I know people get hung up on it because I coach them, and I see what happens. They never get to the traffic because they can't get past the tech. So now we've kind of moved the tech out of their way and tell them, okay, focus on traffic. So this guy, we did have this little non-argument, but so I think my opinion is that you can have a $40,000 Taj Mahal of websites, fully tested, interactive, and all the latest and greatest AI integrations. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if you have funnels, squeeze pages, click funnels, go high level, none of that stuff. You could be spending $297 a month on these things, which a lot of people do. I did as well. It doesn't matter. And I did it. I had no traffic either. In the beginning, I was spending $297 a month on ClickFunnels. I didn't have a single person to go through my funnel. It doesn't matter. Okay. Unless you have traffic. Okay. So you can have all this stuff built out. All right. You can pay for all of it, but still need traffic. So if you don't have traffic, there's no point in having all that amazing stuff. Okay. So you need people. Somebody has to buy something for you to make money. So drop a "makes sense" in the chat if you get that. Yeah, traffic and your audience is everything. Converting traffic. We have Tech Handle, 3 engineers. That's my background. I mean, maybe not in what you're talking about, but I am an engineer, project manager. But doesn't mean you get traffic. Exactly. So you can have all these people hired that you're paying to do stuff for you, but if you don't have people going through them, then it's all, I won't say it's wasted money, because you may need it later, or you will need it later once you get traffic, but you need traffic first. All right. So I can't say that enough. Traffic is the number one thing that matters. All else is a distant second. Again, I'm not saying the tech doesn't matter at all, because you will need it, but it's secondary. All right. And when I dug into it further, I realized, as I looked, into followers and things on social media, that it's not really the followers that matters when it comes to traffic. Okay. Here's something that might surprise you. It's the views that equals money. Does that surprise anyone? It shocked me. It's like, oh, it's the views. I kind of discovered it by mistake. So what do you think are the best ways to get traffic? Let me know what you've tried before with traffic, and tell me why you think it didn't work out. Did you purchase a bad list, or try solo ads? Post it like a madman or a madwoman? Oh, you bought mail. Okay, yeah, solo ads as a noob. What else have you tried? YouTube, okay. Anybody boost posts? YouTube ads? Some people will post 5 times a day on TikTok, for example. Oh, LinkedIn says art. Okay. Some people will try Quora or Reddit. It takes a long time to build up. And so one guy I know, he was using Quora, and built it up. Took a while, and then it got shut down. So unfortunately, um, yeah, Instagram. Okay, because Nicholas, let's talk about some of those because I tried some of those too. Okay, so starting with solo ads, I tried this. Does everybody know what solo ads are? I mean, basically, you're paying these people who have, yeah, okay, so large lists, and you pay them to send your link to a portion of their list. So they'll put some verbiage in, and solo ads suck. They'll put some verbiage in to entice people to click. And so you pay. So let's say you pay for 300 clicks. They will put your link in front of people, in front of their list until you get 300 people who clicked your link. So I paid vendors for ads, to go to people who it turned out weren't interested in what I was selling, and I didn't even get to decide how my ads were shown. And if I wanted more clicks, I had to pay. So I could only use the list once. My ad got shown once because I paid once, and that was it. And my money kind of went down the drain in that case. My source was supposed to be 100% tier one traffic, and tier one, these are people from countries like the US and Canada and the UK. Then you have tier three, so tier one, we can afford $7 for a cup of coffee. We have disposable income. Tier three, on the other end of the economic spectrum, they can't afford a whole lot. And then you have the tier two in between. They speak English. They can afford, they have disposable income basically. So I invested thousands of dollars in solo ads, thinking I was buying these, clicks from someone who had tier one traffic. And I never got $100 in return. My ROI was less than $100. And so I did build a list, but it was of people who would never buy anything because turns out they were tier three country people. And they just don't have it to spend like tier one and tier two. So I tried solo ads. Jeff says solo ads suck. Kind of agree. And I think if you find somebody who's really reputable, I mean, now that I know more, maybe I can try solo ads again. But there's no need to buy traffic. That's my opinion. You don't have to buy traffic. Okay. So who's tried paid ads and were they successful? So we're talking about Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads. They all require an investment of money. And you have to spend time and money optimizing those ads. You have to keep iterating, meaning trial and error, hopefully, informed trial and error to get to the payoff. You can get there, but there is a real cost to that, a real financial cost. And you have to stack offers so that you don't lose money or just break even. But you want a real return on the back end. If you don't know what you're doing, with paid ads, you can lose a lot of money. Okay, I've not done any paid ads. One day I want to, but it's not really my skill set. And when I do it, I'm going to find somebody who knows how to do it to either teach me or have them do it themselves. So, but yeah, you can lose a lot of money with paid ads. And then there are the free sources of traffic, which is what we want. We want the free sources. You can get free sources all day long, like SEO or search engine optimization, right? So drop SEO in the chat. Let's see. So Keegan says solo ads we did, but not paid ads. Oh, same results as you. Yeah, not good. Not good. So if you've tried SEO, let me know in the chat. But it's the process of improving your page's visibility and ranking in the search engine results so you can get the upper hand on traffic. So if you don't know what you're doing here at this, as well as with the paid traffic, it can take several months to get it figured out. And that is a long time to not see results. Okay. It's a long time to wait. And many people aren't willing to wait that long. And you have to keep changing your strategies with SEO as well, because the search engines often update how they rank the site. So you have to keep up. And I also try social media to get traffic. Okay. I spent a lot of time and effort on the socials. The rules and algorithms of social media change often, and that affected how my posts were were shown, how many people saw them. And so it can take you ages to build up. SEO is a time sucker. Yeah. Yeah. But social media, it can take you ages to get that going, right? To build up your following, you have to engage people, you have to post, engage, keep engaging. warming up, cooling down, and it can take your whole day just to keep doing that. A lot of people will tell me that it's hard to stay on top of, and it is. I've experienced it myself. Just staying on top of that and being visible all the time is hard. And so, some people say, well, I have AI now, and so does everybody else. Personally, I don't care for the AI that I see online, but people use it. Some people use it, successfully. But AI has leveled the playing field, and so, frankly, what I see again, I don't care much for it myself, but it's getting better. So there's that. And more these days, people are more aware of the AI, and engagement can decrease if they realize, say, you're using AI. In fact, I posted on Facebook, and someone posted with or commented with AI, and then someone else, I mean, everybody's commenting with AI, and it's like, okay, where is the real engagement here? Where's the relationship building? There wasn't that there. Um, I'm getting to that, Brent. Don't worry. But yeah, and on social media, you really have to worry about, your content being removed, or getting restricted or suspended or banned. It's happening a lot. And to build up in the beginning, I was told, hey, go out and do cold outreach to build up your audience. And so, I follow some more experienced people. They told me to do this. And they told me to follow 30 people a day. So that's what I did. I went out and I thought, okay, I'm going to follow 30 to 50, be an overachiever, because I really want this business to work. And so the problem with this is that I had to just kind of sit and wait and hope that they would notice me and then follow me, or friend request me, And I don't know who came up with that method, but don't do it. It's a very passive way to build your business. All right. Your success doesn't happen on luck, and you can't afford to be passive about building your business. But I tried it because I was new. I didn't know any better, didn't know what else to do. It did not work. I kept trying though. And you think, okay, passively trying, that sounds like an oxymoron. And I think it kind of is, but I struggled for months to get leads. And I felt like there was some secret that they weren't telling me about, because they were doing it, they were making it work, but I couldn't. I kept following all these people. It was not working. So they told me, hey, create a Facebook page and invite all your friends and family, to like your page. And some of you might be doing this now. And so I spent time creating one. I invited everyone on my friends list to join, but they didn't tell me that you need, there's very little engagement unless you buy ads, to make pages work. Although, years later, I figured out how to make them work without ads, which is all part of this whole thing. But, people, I invited them to my page. They weren't even my audience. They were my friends and my family. And some, who were in business, but they weren't in any business that I was in, because I was trying to sell my program. So they weren't interested. Coworkers, college buddies, they weren't interested. But I did what I was told to do. And I had a bunch of people who I had to keep engaging with that were never going to buy. So I tried a lot of things on social media, including Pinterest, YouTube, and I was even told to go on TikTok and Instagram, do a little dances, try to build up an audience. That was never going to happen. Someone mentioned engineers. Who was that? Mentioned engineers. That was Keegan. So I am an engineer by background and project manager, and of a certain personality, I guess. You won't find me dancing. I know this is probably a stereotype, but you won't find me dancing on social media. So it was never going to happen. You're not going to see me dancing. But really, I couldn't get enough views to make it matter anyway. So I tried a lot of things online that didn't work. But ultimately, you can't dance. Ultimately, I went back to social media. So Brent was like, okay, well, you've eliminated all the paths, but yeah, I was checking them off, eliminating them all. But I went back to social media because I realized something important. All the traffic is already there in social media. So Facebook has like what, 3.1 billion monthly active users. YouTube has about 2.5 billion. Instagram, 2 billion. WhatsApp, TikTok, WeChat, Telegram, all these places, they have billions of people. And of course, I tried Facebook again, limited success, friending, following groups, pages, posting multiple times a day, going live, having my own group, having messenger group chats, all of that on Facebook. Tried TikTok, even tried Instagram, tried all of that, but I didn't know how to capture attention. Okay, that was my problem, how to capture attention. And someone said it in the chat earlier that that's what they were here to learn. And I even created videos, cost a lot of money, requires some special skills to make. And they all needed to do well on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok to be seen by a lot of people. And you can do them on Facebook as well. Now, the first few videos I tried, I had 23 followers, and they were all friends and family, like Jeremy said in the beginning. And they actually, once I looked at my Instagram account, though I didn't actually post on Instagram, they came from Facebook. I didn't know that I was actually pushing content to Instagram from Facebook. I had no idea. But no one who would be a buyer ever saw them because they were all friends and family. But I was sure that video could work because I saw people doing them. And I'm sure you're seeing people do them as well. I just didn't know how to do it and get leads. But I kept trying. And that's when I first learned the missing piece that got my videos to work. Okay. And literally, as soon as I did what worked, boom, everything changed. My audience exploded. I blew up overnight. And Jeff was asking, where was I on social? He can't find my account. Jeff, what is your last name? I'm not sure which Jeff this is. And so if he's seen my account, he's seen that it's kind of big. But I started getting crazy views on my videos. People started contacting me left and right. And I had so many DMs. I was getting more. And literally, I kid you not, this is no exaggeration, I was getting more than one lead a minute into my DMs. Okay, that's serious traffic. I had so much traffic, I didn't know what to do because I wasn't prepared. Yeah, so what is your last name, Jeff? Yeah, I had so much traffic. Oldfield. Okay. Oh, no, starts with the S. Schofield. Yeah, so so I was not expecting that windfall to happen. Of all these views that I got, I was not prepared. And being a shy introvert, it was a lot. And so, but I just started following that same formula over and over again. But I learned something else, a critical piece of the formula, something that changed everything and in my mind. And that was that, views equals money. That's what I learned. So you get viewers on your videos, on your reels, it equals money. And once I realized that, I started to focus on the formula and I started to focus on Instagram. As soon as I got to people seeing my content, they kept going to my link and I started making money just kind of out of the blue. And so I did this formula and I kept doing it. My videos exploded. I kept doing it over and over again to test it and it kept working. And so I've gotten well over 100 million views at this point. That's a lot. And remember that views equals cash, views equals money, and the views aren't as hard to get as you might think. All right. So if you follow the formula, that worked for me. And the more views you get, the more they go up, the more money you make. If you get 1,000 views, you make money. What makes more than 1,000 views? 5,000 views and 10,000 views. And so people ask me, okay, well, how much can I make with 10,000 views? Everybody wants to know how much can I make with 10,000 views? And I can only say really more than 1,000 views, but it really depends on what you're offering, right? And so, but I can tell you that if you're making $10 with 1,000 views, just to make the math easy, right? You can expect to do much better with 5,000 or 10,000. It won't necessarily be linear, but you can do better with, more views than with 1,000 views. So you'll be making money now. Money now is awesome. And you make money later, because you're growing your email list. So money now, money later, that's a winning combination. And so the more views you get, the more money you make. All right. And so what if I told you that some of my videos have hit in the millions? Okay. One got 34 million views, actually more than 34 million views. All right. And you can see it there on the screen. Imagine getting that many eyeballs on your videos. Okay. Remember, views equals money. This isn't just a one off either. So when I started, I wasn't even sure how to log into Instagram. So I think it was Brent, you were saying you haven't done the platforms because you weren't sure how. I think that was Brent. Oh, yeah, that was Brent. Yeah, I didn't even know how to log into Instagram. I had to have my kids help me. And so I had an old account from like 2015 that was just sitting there. And again, I accidentally pushed 3 videos there from Facebook. I didn't know they were sitting there. And I had no idea how to even get to it. For some reason, it didn't occur to me to download an app or go to Instagram.com, just never even enter my mind. And so I didn't know how to even do that, much less how to get into it. So my youngest daughter, she got me into the app and logged me into it. And I had both my kids telling me, hey, do this and do that. And, telling me all the ins and outs of Instagram. And so I started posting and getting a handful of views on my reels. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what to say about affiliate marketing or anything else, and no idea how to get people interested in my reels or my profile. That's how it started. I couldn't figure out the algorithm. All right. But I'm good at, I was good at one thing. I was consistent. My coach would tell me that I was consistent as a mofo, and I am. And that was my one real secret at that time is I tried to be consistent. When you're not seeing results, though, I do get that it's hard to be consistent. It's tough to keep motivated to post when, things aren't working. So I definitely get that. Drop a yes if you can relate to that. And stay consistent with bad content, that didn't make any sense to me. So I was about to give up when I stumbled upon the key to getting hordes and hordes of free traffic online. And so it happened unexpectedly. I tried something, I went to bed, and woke up to one of my reels hitting 100,000 views. I was absolutely shocked and a little bit ill. And because as I said, I am a shy introvert. And so all these, I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. And so I haven't done Instagram, do have YouTube, would like automated responding. Yeah. So yeah, I woke up to 100,000 views, made me quite ill because I was not used to having all these eyes on me. And so it just kept climbing though. 2 days later, I was at 300,000 views. And by then I was fine. That's how quickly you can get over it, right? And so a couple of days after that, I was at 500,000 views. And since then, it's gone up to 2.9 million views. This is the one that started it all for me. Okay, since then, I've been getting views in the millions. And even the reels that only had a handful of views when I first started, the ones that were pushed from Facebook, those started getting tens of thousands of views. So 2.9, 3 million, 34.7 million. It's kind of insane when I think about it, and in the process of all this, I learned the key to the algorithm. And so now I can repeat it over and over and over again with many of my videos doing well over 1 million views. And guess what? They only take a few minutes to make. Yeah. And there are a handful. Okay, so here's a handful of them. I tried to squeeze them all in. You can see some of them are repeats, but they consistently do well. And so it is great for building your audience and getting traffic, but also it's not just about the views. I'm at about 218,000 contacts. This is go high level on my email list. And I didn't pay a single penny for those people. And it only took a few minutes per day, right? And I've been following the same formula over and over again. And what I found is the easiest way, the best way for today really is Instagram. Okay, shocking. Well, shocking to me. It's like, oh no, I got to do Instagram now. And so I'll show you how to get set up, how to get everything right. And you can make videos in 21 minutes. And I'll show you how I got millions of views. But it's not enough to get views, okay? So don't listen to anybody who is going to tell you about all of their views, and that's it. And because that's vanity. You have to know how to turn those views into leads and leads into buyers. Otherwise, it is just, it's kind of cool, but what's the point, right? So I have over 46,000 leads in this one system, this one back office. And this was, a little over a year ago. So more at this point. And same here, customer table, 1,582 customers on this one, starting from zero. And I know these are remarkable results, especially since not everybody um, makes money online. They're online for years and years, and they never make money because they never mastered this part, which is the traffic. And that's what we're talking about today here is mastering traffic. And so you can hear it from my coach, who is an 8-figure super affiliate. This is when I was first getting started. You'll see it says August 2023. He says, I just wanted to congratulate Beverly, who has generated so much free traffic in her first 3 weeks. Again, I was just getting started, that it would make TikTok jealous. She has 35,000 followers in 3 weeks and generates 200 plus leads per day and brings in big ticket commissions of $2,000 plus using free traffic. I don't buy traffic. I still don't buy traffic. Yeah, I was just getting started here. I had not figured out yet how to turn it into money, but the first problem is just getting that flow. You get that trickle, turn on that faucet, it drips, it trickles, and then you want just, open it full throttle and, have those leads coming to you. And for me, I didn't even want to do any of this stuff, actually, to be honest. I was there was a contest that he was putting on, a 30-day contest, and the prize was $1,000. And I waited till the absolute last day to join this contest or this challenge, which was July 2nd. If I start on July 2nd and I go to July 31st, I have 30 days that I could, create reels and post them. And so that I was going to be done after that and just quit. Hopefully win $1,000 and then quit. But things blew up in 15 days. That's how long it took me, 15 days. And that's when I started getting that 100,000 on my reel, and then 300,000, and then it went to 2.9 million. So that's what was happening here. I had no intention of August 5th continuing any of this stuff, but things happen, things change, right? So he went on to share my Instagram results after 6 months. Obviously, I kept going. So this is what he posted on his Facebook. So I had 379 posts, 307,000 followers at that time, 79 people I was following. And I did all that. So 0 to 300K in 6 months. That was fast. And so you can see how much reach I had as well. And my content was reaching almost 8 million people. And I wish I had gotten a screenshot of this, but I don't know. I thought I had time. But my highest reach was 14 million accounts. I did not get a screenshot. All right. Always, always, always get screenshots of what you're doing because it becomes social proof. So if you think, okay, I can get it tomorrow, nope, get it today. All right. But remember when I said that it's not the followers that count, it's the views. And so the followers, in this screenshot, it's a 90-day period. I had 186,000 followers that this reached. My non-followers were 7.6 million. Okay, so it's not the followers that count, it's the views. And you can get those views with the non-followers, right? So views equals cash. They don't have to be followers. All right, so it's great to have a lot of followers on your, on your account, but don't discount the non-followers. All right, because of this, I get a lot of companies reach out to me to make content for them, and they pay me. They pay me to make videos. I make 90-second videos, actually often less, and get paid money to do that. And that, is this little extra on the side, which is kind of nice. Why not? All right. At the same time I was doing that on Instagram, Facebook was doing this. I had 101,000 followers, following three. This is kind of old. It's a terrible screenshot. But that was started from absolute zero. I didn't even have the 23 followers on this page. I had nothing. And I started another page that quickly went to 25,000 followers. And remember earlier when I said that I couldn't get pages figured out without paying for ads? I figured out how to get a page. This is a page. Figured out. So 126,000 followers total. I figured out how to do it with zero ad spend, zero boosted posts, using the same techniques that I use on Instagram. Okay. And a lot of those followers, I took, funneled them off of Instagram and I exploded my Facebook group. And so that got really big as well. So, now I have all these touch points with people. You need all these touch points in order for people to buy. So that's what I was doing. And so let me ask you this, so all of this, what if I could give you, this complete step-by-step formula that has taken me from 23 followers to over 500,000 followers. And then not only that, you want to make commissions, right? So I'll help you select and set up your tech and get you traffic fast, and this into something that works, a product that works and converts. In fact, I'll guarantee you get 1,000 views on your videos in a week, 1 week. And this is not just a guarantee where you're going to kind of sit on your hands for a week and do nothing and expect something to happen. I've had people do that. It does not work that way. And it's not for people like that, or for people who will just post one video or a few videos and then do nothing else. It's like quiet quitting, like we talked about, like I don't know if they still use that term in 9 to 5, but it was quiet quitting where you show up, but you don't actually do anything. And so you have to actually do the work. All right. So follow the training as prescribed, create and post the videos during the week. And if you show up and do the work, you'll get the views. And so what if you could have people begging you for your link? Okay. How many of you here have one or two leads coming in occasionally? Or tell me how many leads you have coming in a week? Tell me how many leads you think you have coming in a week. Because there's no shame in any of it. I started out, I had 2 to 3 leads. Oh, 80. Whew, that's awesome, Nicholas. When I started, I had 2 to 3, and I really thought I was doing something. I thought I was on it. These leads are coming into my back office. No, I was like, well, why can't I get sales? And so my coach looked at it. He's like, well, you only have 2 to 3 leads a week. All this time I thought I was, I was really, really making things work, but no, I wasn't. And there's no shame in it because we have to start from somewhere, right? Everybody has to start from zero. And the fact that you have some coming in just proves that you can get more. Okay. But how about having so many people come in and contact you for your link that you literally can't deal with them? How do you think that's going to feel? I remember, sitting there, all these leads coming in, people asking me for my link all day and all night. And so imagine this. And someone said it earlier. I'm trying to scan the chat. Oh, it was Brent. Never having to DM anybody, never. And the funny thing is, you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to respond to any of the messages that come in because I'll give you my bot that has it all automated. I'll show you how you can deal with all of these DMs without even working. Now, this is an image of the volume that I had that went through my first bot. And this is ManyChat. Anybody use ManyChat? Anybody familiar with ManyChat? Oh, Jeff, yeah, ManyChat. So yeah, a couple people familiar with ManyChat. This is what I was using when I first started. You can see, August to March, so a couple years, just about a year and a half, I guess. And so I had 217,000 active contacts, 47,000 inactive, net 170. And I stopped using it early 2024 because I found something much better. I went to Go High Level and I found it was much better. And but you can see kind of how it leveled off. But I realized I didn't turn it off completely because it was still growing. I thought I'd shut it off, but people were still somehow getting through. So now I don't use ManyChat anymore. But back when I did in the very beginning, I got this fantastic and unexpected email from ManyChat. And it says yesterday. It was not yesterday. It was August 2023. And so it says that I was in the top 0.1% of ManyChat Instagram accounts. So I was in the top 180 accounts in the entire world. And to me, that was pretty cool as a brand new user. And some people are just like, okay, yeah, whatever, whatever, Beverly. I thought it was cool because this was far beyond what I had ever expected of myself on social media, on Instagram. Okay. But I did it because of this formula that I figured out for getting views and turning them into leads. And this really just blew my mind, you know. Maybe no big deal for you guys, but I thought it was pretty awesome. And so you can do all of this without dancing on camera or feeling silly or being entertaining or even thinking you have to know what you're doing. You can just follow the super simple formula and literally get your content your content created and your traffic flowing in just a matter of minutes. And you can literally make your first video, and I'll show you how to do it. So all these things where people think you need to be an expert or a guru, you don't. I knew nothing. In fact, you can do this all without putting your face on camera, on video, or even saying a single word. I have a lot where I'm not saying anything. And some I don't have my face even on there. So I'm going to show you as well how to do it without warming people up. So you can go on Facebook. I don't know if you do this, but on Facebook, you should be warming up your feed and then you post and then you cool down your feed. And so I'm going to show you how to do this without even warming people up. So you're not spending extra time on social media, right? You go straight to getting traffic. Okay, no extra steps needed. I'm going to show you the formula that worked for me that got me crazy amounts of traffic. You don't even have to worry about, what you're going to say on the videos. Don't need to be an expert. Don't need to be a guru. I'm going to show you the simplest formula ever for doing this. So drop a me in the chat if you would be interested in hearing this. Give me some me's if you're interested. I see Nicholas, Jeremy, Keegan, Brent, Anoop. Okay. Me, especially if it works for B2B. Yep. Art. Okay. Ken. Yep. Awesome. All right. So I see the me's coming in. So yeah. So I'll guarantee you too, Tom. Hey, Tom. That you're going to know exactly what to do and you'll be able to do it in 21 minutes. That's how much time I spent doing this. And you might be thinking, okay, yeah, sounds awesome. Whoop-de-doo. But these are not, there's not just hopes and dreams, really. It's not fantasy. It is, the reason why I am, and these are, old screenshots, but the reason I stay at the top of the leaderboards and I win contest prizes. So they're my reality and they can be yours too. And so this is me, I was new doing this stuff. All right. And it only gets better and better. So this can be your reality as well. Now, let me ask you, what percentage of people online do you think have over 500,000 followers? Take a wild guess, a big swag. Let me know in the comments. And I'll tell you that according to 2%, says Brent, according to Data Reportal, as of mid last year, about 5.41 billion people use social media worldwide. Ken says not many. Nicholas says 0.5%. So 5.41 billion people using social media. That is roughly 66% of the global population. All right. And so Nicholas was pretty close. So according to mention.com, at the time I created the slide anyway, only 0.32% have between 500,000 and 1 million followers. Okay, so that does not surprise Nicholas probably, or some of you. Ken says not many. Brent says 2%. It's really hard to know because it's like there's so many social media outlets, right? Now, Hyper Auditor, their report shows 0.2%, even lower. But there's another site called Backlinko, and they say 0.62%, so higher, but still extremely low. And I did this without spending a cent. I kid you not. I did not buy ads. I did not boost posts. I did not use shout outs. I didn't even know what shout outs were when I did this. I did it in just 14 months using the stuff I'm talking about here now. And you can go out and buy this traffic, and it's going to cost you about $1 per follower. And so how much do you think I just saved myself with this many followers? So I saved myself around $500,000. Now I'm not a billionaire, obviously. I'm not going to go plop down $500,000 that I don't have into buying followers. But if people were buying traffic, then they would spend about $1 per follower. So I would have saved myself $500,000 if I were a billionaire. And so, if it's working and you're making money with the traffic, people will buy traffic. Maybe not, that much at a time, of course, that wouldn't make any sense. But you see how valuable this traffic is? So I'm getting all this traffic, all these views, and what do views equal? Cash, right? Views equals cash. Now, this is my friend Paul Strachan. He's from Scotland, and you'll get to hear him in a moment. But he struggled to break 1,000 views. So he did it. He did it, here, and because he has more posts than this, but he struggled just to get here. He was kind of stuck down in the 800s, 900s, and after a few tips from me, this is what he started doing. I mean, crazy, right? So suddenly he had a new problem. He was getting tens of thousands of views on his reels. He had a new problem now. Now he's getting thousands of leads and he has no way to handle them. But thankfully, my bot that I talked about before will help you manage all those leads that will be coming in. So you can hear from Paul directly. So we'll hear what he has to say. This is Paul. This is AI Paul, obviously, AI Paul, real Paul. So let's hear what he has to say.
Hi, I'm Paul Strachan. I want to say a few words about Beverly Samuel. What stands out to me about Beverly is that she understands.
Can you hear that? Yes. Okay, good. Oops. Let me go back.
Hi, I'm Paul Strachan. I want to say a few words about Beverly Samuel. What stands out to me about Beverly is that she understands systems, not just affiliate marketing in theory, but how to build things that actually work long term. She brings real structure to what can feel chaotic for a lot of people, especially when it comes to marketing and building income online. On Instagram, she's incredibly generous with her support, mentorship, and training. She meets people where they are, but she also helps them think properly about growth, about consistency, and strategy. Beverly isn't about shortcuts. She's about building solid foundations, and that's exactly why I respect the work that she does.
Okay, so that's a little bit from Paul, and yeah, engineers, no systems. Awesome. Oh, hey, Sylvia, welcome. All right, so this is why I feel so confident about our 7-day guarantee that I'm going to show you later. And so, I mentioned this before. When I first got started online, other marketers told me that I could use social media to sell to people online. And so I didn't know how to do it. Kept trying for months to get leads. And I felt like there was this huge secret they weren't telling me. And so I did what I saw other people doing. I mentioned the follow method I told you about, following 30 to 50 people a day, praying they would notice me and friend me. And we started doing business together. Did not work. Okay. I tried friending 30 people a day, but the Facebook groups where the best quality people are, they cost money to get into. And I don't mean you pay to join, you don't just, there's no paywall, but you have to buy their product or their program to join. And they put some very strict rules on what you can do inside the groups. And if you get caught farming the groups, that's what I call it, farming, you might call it fishing. You're going into the groups to mine leads for yourself. Their groups, they built them. You're going there to, take advantage of it. Some of those group owners, they won't just kick you out. They will make an example of you. And I've seen it happen. And so that didn't work either. I did get kicked out of a couple of groups doing that. Thankfully, no one made an example of me because I would not have liked that. But yeah, it's scary enough that, maybe some of you are probably braver than I am. You probably wouldn't care. But yeah, I would not have liked that. So, but worse yet, Facebook right now is, they're very strict, and they're putting some really tight restrictions on what you can do. So you might only be able to friend request 5 people before they stop you. So they're just slapping people around. And so Jeff's asking about my Instagram account. I'm getting slapped around right now by Instagram. I made them mad, I guess. And so I went out though, and I spent $13,000 of my own hard earned money and joined a program by the biggest gurus online. And so I spent the greater part of a year taking classes, and they gave me a lot of high level strategy. And you need strategy, you have to have a direction. But I didn't get any of the step by step tactics that I needed to get these leads that they said were on social media. So basically, I lost a lot of time. I might did get the strategy, so great. But I spent $13,000 on something that left me more confused than ever. And it really wasn't quite what I needed. Money was gone, didn't have what I needed. And so that's when I tried solo ads. I mentioned that earlier. Tried solo ads. And so this is where you go to a vendor with a large email list and ask them to send your link to part of their list. And so my autoresponder didn't like it because the email quality was so bad. Even though it was supposed to be tier one, it was not tier one. They were not the most reputable person to get solo ads from. A lot of people from the lower economic countries that couldn't afford to buy anything. And even if they bought something for $7, they couldn't afford to upgrade. And your business can't survive on a handful of $7 sales. Okay, if you're getting $7 sales, fantastic, take it, but they couldn't afford to upgrade. And so I could not live on just that unless I was getting crazy high volume, and you can't either. So you need to get something, bigger ticket than $7. But the solo ads vendors just kept telling me, hey, just keep buying solo ads, just keep feeding the machine, feeding the machine. I was feeding their machine, and they were making money off of me. I wasn't making any money. I spent thousands of dollars. And again, my ROI on that was about $100. And I filled my email list with thousands of crap emails that ultimately had to be deleted or get kicked out of my autoresponder, because that's what they will do with a bunch of bad emails. You get kicked out. So I struggled for a very long time, but I needed to find a way to make this online thing work. And so I signed up for yet another training. And I was a bit reluctant, and I watched it. I watched what people were doing, and I did all this stuff to try to get these reels working. And, you've seen it on Instagram. People are getting it working, and, it's fine getting followers and views. But, you'll notice with some people, they're getting crazy views and not making any money. I've heard of people, this one guy has 4 million followers, and he sold 4 t-shirts. That's insane. So a whole lot of work for 4 t-shirts, unless they're $1 million a piece or some outrageous amount, $20,000 a piece. But no, probably like $10 a piece, maybe 20. Okay, let's be generous and say it's $20. But there are people out there selling stuff from Amazon and Adidas getting like 3% commission, 10 if they're lucky. And so you'd have to sell like $10,000 worth of Adidas, to make $300. And imagine how hard you'd have to work to, how many shoes you'd have to sell to have money, enough for financial freedom. That's a lot of sales. That's crazy. It doesn't seem to be worth it to me. And so you can get all these views and not make money. That's my point. But first order of business for me was I had to focus on what kind of content would work and wouldn't take long to shoot, because who wants to spend all day shooting videos? I don't. And so I had to figure out what content would be quick and easy to shoot. That was the first order of business. And so normally when we think about people making videos, like on YouTube, you have all these things you have to do, let me know if this is what you're doing. Script out a video, you have to record it, spend hours and hours editing it. Even AI editing, you still have to kind of go in and do a lot of stuff to it. But with my formula, you don't have to spend hours editing them. Okay, literally, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get the script, and it's not AI, where you can shoot. And if you wanted to, you can get it done very quickly, post and start earning. Okay, so give me a yes in the chat if you want me to tell you how to do all of this. Give me a yes. Oh, starting to see the yeses coming in. Brent, Ken, Keegan with the yep. Sylvia, yes, please. Tom, okay, so I'm starting to see all the yeses coming in. Awesome. Okay, so introducing Rules Revolution. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to explode your audience in just 21 minutes a day. You don't have to go out and invest in any special expensive equipment, so don't worry about that. Don't need to worry about, installing or configuring any special software. You don't need to worry. If you're new to Reels, I was new. I knew absolutely nothing. And again, I didn't even know how to log into Instagram. Okay, you don't have to have any experience. I had zero. I'm going to teach you how to do it 100% on this, on your cell phone. That's it. This is my work right here, my workhorse. And so you can be anywhere in the world, on the beach, on a bus, at a lake, and you can do this. And so how do we do it? Step by step. Okay. So if you ever wished someone would just tell you exactly what to do, this is it, step by step. And so let me show you what we'll do. Okay. First, I'm going to walk you through, hold your hand, again, step by step, to get your account set up the right way. All right. So you may be set up now, but there could be some critical things you're missing. So we're going to walk step by step. And I mentioned earlier that I was an engineer for 34 years and a project manager for much of that. And so I'm very process oriented, very detail oriented. And so I'll show you exactly what to press. I've done a lot of instructional documents, SOPs, work instructions, all of that. So I will show you exactly what to press. Don't worry, there's no SOPs or anything of that in here. What to click, what it should look like when it's done. And because that way you were successful, right? Plus, I'll give you a couple of my templates that I made for myself that you can use to give you a professional look that most people don't even bother with. But it's going to really set you apart and draw in hordes and hordes of leads, which is what you want. Okay, next I'm going to reveal exactly where and how to find the content that you need. Okay, there will be no more mystery around how it's done, how people are getting so many views, followers, and non-followers, or how I got so many views and followers and non-followers. No mystery, everything revealed. All right, everything. I kid you not, everything's revealed. So then I am going to show you the free tool I use to shoot my content right on my phone. Again, this is what I work on daily. And so you don't need to do anything special or buy anything special. I'll show you how you can use the same tool to edit your Reels as well. Again, this is a free tool. You'll be able to do this anywhere you have internet access. So you can be in a carpool, not driving, obviously, waiting at the school to pick up your kids, waiting in the dentist waiting room, at the car wash, wherever, getting an oil change, waiting for your cookies to bake, wherever, whatever. If there's internet, you can do this. All right. You don't need a whole lot of time. I'll even give you some of my favorite advanced editing tools and techniques as well. But don't let the word advanced scare you. Just some extra stuff that will help you, grow into a person who's doing this stuff on a regular basis. And it's all, again, step by step. Right. I'm going to give you weekly sessions on how to shoot certain videos. They record it. So if you have to miss, no big deal. They're all there. And I meet, I do this every single week and take people through answering their questions, go through Reels, whatever they need to get this done. Okay. So I try to cover one technique a week so you can grow your skills without being scared. It can be a little bit scary, a little bit nerve-wracking, I think, when you're trying to create some content, put it out there on the internet for people to see, and not feeling necessarily confident that you did it right, or maybe you messed something up. No, we're going to go through that. So, and then you don't have to spend 2 hours, worrying, and then 2 hours doing it as well. So step by step, how to shoot and edit your Reels. On top of that, I'll give you my Canva templates. These are ones I created for myself. So they're proven to work. I use them, and you can use them for yourself to set you apart from everyone else. They get the job done, or I wouldn't use them. Okay. Now this was built for overthinkers and perfectionists. I try to get myself out of that category. And so if you've been second guessing every post, you can stop. All right. I laid out a 30-day plan so you can post with confidence and consistency. This is important because when you are not sure what to post, it's easy to go silent and just disappear and do nothing. And I'll tell you, silence kills momentum more than anything. And not being consistent, going away, and maybe you had a bad day online, go away, lick your wounds. That kills your momentum. This plan, gives you a clear path forward so you can stay visible and stay valuable and keep your audience coming to you and engaged day after day and keep buying from you day after day, right? So I'm going to give you additional content as well to drip every single week because I want you to have the entire year covered. All right, sound good? Then cover all the bases. So if you've been using trial and error to post, you can forget about that. All right. If you've ever wondered exactly how the platform pushes content, this is going to remove that mystery from you. All right. So now you're going to know, and you can ride that wave for maximum reach. And so this will give you some great insight into how Instagram pushes content and how people go viral. Okay. So this is going to give you a simple, non-technical breakdown. Okay. You don't want to get all engineering on people. So non-technical breakdown of how the platform pushes content and how to work with it. This is going to be your unfair advantage. Okay. To be seen on Instagram over everyone else who are out there trying to build their audience, take away the guesswork for you and keep you confident that your content can be seen. No point in doing a whole lot of work if it's not going to be visible, right? That's a waste of time. And since every time you hesitate to post, you lose momentum, you lose visibility, this guide will keep your ideas flowing and your messages in motion beyond the 30 days of the content planner. So you can stay consistent and confident, show up without second guessing. And so I got this. This was actually something that was made by a bunch of people, including my coach, who's a super affiliate, 8-figure super affiliate, contributed heavily to this. So these are some great ideas in here. And, you never have to worry about, okay, what am I going to post? People tell me all the time, I don't know what to post. People always tell me that. And I had the same problem. So I'm going to give you this. Never stare at a blank screen again. And it's also great for written posts and email topics. And I'll share this with you as well. When I started posting on Instagram, you take that content and you repurpose it everywhere. So I have a huge spreadsheet. Anybody wants it, once you get into this program, I'm happy to share it. But a huge spreadsheet that shows, okay, post and email and short form and video and all these things and my profile and my group and my here and my there, and just repurpose everything. And so these ideas are great to use for all your content. All right. So this is a great resource. And so you get that. And because you're on this training today, with Jeremy, I have 3,300 reels that I'm going to give you. They're proven to go viral. So all you have to do in those times where you don't even have 21 minutes to sit down and make your own, you can, just upload one of these. And they have music and graphics, pull in thousands of views. And since views equals cash, these will make you some profits. All right. And actually, I keep adding to this. I'm up to, I think I have 3,842, I want to say, reels in this pack. So you get all of those. All right. And so I'll give you these to use. And so it's great too if you don't want to show your face. I encourage showing your face because I think it builds trust faster. That's what we're in the business of doing, right? Online is building that trust. And so I encourage you to show your face. If you're shy, I can tell you how to kind of get over that like really quick. That was me. I was shy and I did not want to go live, did not want to show my face. And someone told me a very simple trick. And I can just tell you now, I guess. So what I did, the person that shared this with me, she's a coach for Dean Graziosi, if you know Dean Graziosi, and Tony Robbins. And I cannot remember her last name, but her first name was Raquel. It was Rocky. And so she did a challenge. It was a 7-day challenge. And what you do is you take your cell phone, record yourself for 60 seconds, just 1 minute, and you play it back for 60 seconds. And you have to watch it. You have to listen to your own voice, which is what most people have a problem with, right? Going online is like, wow, do I look like that? Do I sound like that? Well, yeah, you do. So get used to it. And so I did it twice a day because I thought, okay, I'm really extra bad. I'm going to do it twice a day. Did it twice a day. After 3 days of recording myself for 60 seconds, listening to myself for 60 seconds, I was over it in 3 days. I kept doing it. I actually did it for, I probably went a good month. But the challenge was you do it for 5 days and then you go live on Facebook and then you do it for a couple more days. So, but after 3 days, I was totally fine. So I suggest if you're worried about showing your face, or if you're feeling a little bit shy, don't like how you sound, don't like how you look, um, try that. It worked for me. I mean, it really did work for me. And it's done wonders for my life, not just online, but personally as well. So anyway, that was just a little aside. I was not planning to talk about that, but that's, show your face if you can, whenever you can. Some people can't because they live in a country like Canada, where I have one person that works for a bank, and apparently they say it's a conflict of interest. And so this person has to do something else in order to make money online because they can't put their face out there or they'll get in trouble. Maybe you work for the government. So there are different reasons to not put your face out there, but wherever you can, if it's just a matter of being shy or something like that, just, try that little thing that I just told you about and get yourself out there as much as possible. It'll do wonders for you. I promise it will. All right. So now a lot of people will teach you to DM, get in the DMs, just DM people, just go into the DMs to talk to people, sell to them there in the DMs. And so I've heard it a lot. I've said it as well. But when you're doing outreach, you send a message to someone, a DM, that's an outbound message. And so that's where you're messaging other people, right? And I realized that I don't want to message people on Instagram. I don't. But I get all these people asking me for my link all day long. And so the difference is, with an outbound message where I'd message them, it might convert at 1%, but an inbound message where they are reaching out to me, asking for my link, it's going to convert much higher. If you think about it this way, would it be easier for someone to sell you a car if, say, the salesman reached out to you, he did outreach, and so he called you out of the blue and said, hey, buy this car? Or would it be easier for him to sell or her to sell a car if you were an inbound lead and you walked yourself into the dealership with the intention of buying a car, right? It would be easier that way, right? For that person to sell you a car because you were inbound. That's the difference between an outbound and inbound. All right. So even though the inbound messages that you're going to get, they convert much higher than the outbound, I still didn't want to sit there all day responding to people contacting me because there was a lot of them. And I really was getting a lead a minute. And being a shy introvert, it was like an avalanche of people on me. And so I literally just like, okay, I'm backing away from the DMs. I went away for like 2 weeks. I kept posting, but I didn't go into the DMs at all. I did not have automation. So my coach gave me some of his staff. They went in, they got buried because I had so many DMs. And then he hired a whole sales team. They got buried. And this was, 2023, we weren't doing that much, that much automation just yet. So, but we ended up putting a automation in to DM people automatically. And that's kind of how this whole thing was born. It was just overwhelming. We had to do something besides put people on it. So you're going to get an automation that handles all of the DMs for you. And so as a bonus, if you get this, I'm going to share that with you. And so all of the inbound messages are automatically dealt with. So, sales conversations automatically done. Your link automatically dropped. So anybody love that? I think it's awesome because it's going to eliminate, the need for awkward conversations, while still converting viewers into buyers. So you'll be able to convert them without cold messaging, without chasing people down. It's going to do that work for you. It's going to warm them up and drop your link. And you can go off and you can build other parts of your business. And plus this works, 24/7. You don't have to be awake all night. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Crazy what AI can do these days. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg, really. And so it doesn't just work for the DMs. It works for leaving comments too. And how it works is that, so the bot handles the DMs. If someone, like if you create a reel and somebody DMs you, it will engage with them, warm them up, drop your link. If they leave a comment on your content, whether it's a reel or a post or whatever, carousel, story, it will engage with them in the comments. And then it's going to throw that conversation into the DMs and carry out the rest of the conversation there. And it does it automatically. And it drops that link for you. So you don't have to even be there. If leads come in, the speed to the lead, you want to get there fast, and you can't always do it yourself, right? So you have this no DM sales system, this bot that will do that for you. All right. So then you get the soft sell script vault. And these scripts, there are multiple in the vault. They give you the exact words to move viewers from interest to purchase. Okay. You don't need it for Instagram because you're going to have the bot. But since you're on other social media platforms where you don't have it, then you can use these and you'll know exactly what to say. And these scripts have helped build my 6-figure business. So I was using these actually before I got the bot in place. And so I was making money, but, I was inundated with people and it just was not sustainable. You can't throw people when there's like tons of them coming toward you. So you'll have these scripts. And so here's all of what you get. All right. The Reels Revolution product, getting your account set up, best way to find content, how to shoot reels, how to edit your reels, and plus some advanced techniques normally sold at $19.97. The 30-day content planner, so you can post confidently and consistently. One of the things new online marketers or entrepreneurs in general tell me about is that, or what they struggle with is marketing stamina. I don't know if you are aware what that is, but it is your ability to keep showing up long after the initial excitement wears off. And so it's hard to just kind of stay out there like constantly and just, be on it all the time. Most people quit too soon. They'll post for a week, 2 weeks tops, and they don't see results and they stop. But those people who build marketing stamina, who keep posting, keep showing up, keep their message in front of people, those are the ones who will outlast the competition and win. And so now you can get that in a 30-day content planner. And I'm going to, help you further by dripping additional content to you each and every week. So the 30-day content planner with the extra dripped content, so you have a full year's worth of content covered. Of course, you can reuse it, every year. That's valued at $1,764. All right. And then you're going to have the algorithm fast track guide to give you that unfair advantage over everyone else struggling to be seen and get leads on Instagram. That is valued at $197. Shorts inspiration, the 382 content ideas that you can use across your social medias, across your different mediums, reels, emails, short form, long form, whatever, blogs, all the things that you're out there, articles on LinkedIn, wherever you put your articles, Medium, you can use them across everything and you don't lose visibility. And so that is a value of $499. 3,300 viral done for you Reels pack so that you're always ready to post, even when you can't spare 21 minutes a day. Okay, that is valued at $31.93. My no DM sales system or my bot, brings in sales for me day and night. It's the number one reason why I wake up to commissions in my account. Okay, that is the only reason because I'm not up all night. So I wake up to commissions in my account because this thing is working. It is working hard. And so you want something like this working for you. All right, so it's a value of $12.97. And you have the soft sell scripts. And these are the ones that I've used, started getting me leads on social media, and using these to convert to high ticket. All right, and so this is valued at $14.95. My Canva templates that I created for myself, I use these on my accounts, $47. They work because I would not use them if they didn't work. I would be on to something else. Then you have my exclusive school group, which I did not even mention before. And so the school group is where I do my group coaching, and I support people who are in the program, give them special weekly trainings, and I go through each week, whatever they need to go through, really, but also how to create certain types of content. And so we'll do that every single week. So the total value of $10,984. All right. So all of this, almost 11,000 bucks. I could easily charge that because you're getting me included for life as long as I live, you know, however long that might be, God willing, it's a long time, but I can easily charge that for this whole bundle. But even though, for everything you're getting is easily justifiable, it's a lot, especially these days, it's a lot. And so even 4K for this bundle, that's a lot too. And I know how so many of you want to just kind of get started, get that traffic going. So I don't want you to pay that either. And so the entire package for Reels Revolution is $19.97. Okay, so for that, you get the entire package. This step-by-step method has made me over six figures. How to get your account set up, how to find content, how to shoot your reels, how to edit your reels. You get the 30-day content planner. Which is a full, actually you get the dripped content as well. So you get a full year, of dripped content, the algorithm fast track guide, the 382 shorts, inspiration ideas, 3,300 viral done for you reels pack, the bot, the soft sell script vault, the Canva templates, access to my exclusive school group with the weekly trainings, the group coaching with me. And for the first three buyers only, instead of paying $19.97, I'm going to give the first three buyers only $1,500 off. Okay, just for being part of this training here today with Jeremy. This is a live only bonus for Jeremy's audience. All right. So $1,500 off, and that's 75% off. That's huge. And I'm also going to give you onboarding. I'm going to sit down with you one-on-one. Okay, one-on-one session with me to get started and help make sure you're on the right track with your reels. So I don't want you to kind of, do a whole bunch of stuff, get it out there and, be frustrated because it wasn't quite, how it needs to be. So I'm going to sit down with you and just kind of go over what you're doing. And so even better than this though, okay, so stay tuned. It's something even better. For the first three buyers only, you're going to get resale rights of Reels Revolution. Okay, you keep 100% of the profits. Now, this is not master resale rights, so you're not giving other people rights to sell it. So you can sell it to, so let's say Britt can sell it to Nicholas, for example, but he can't give Nicholas the rights to sell it to Anoop. Okay, but you do get to sell the product to other people for full price. Keep 100% of the money. I get none of it. Okay, you keep it all. So you get to capitalize on everything I put together in this program. So you don't have to do any of the work. You can just go out and sell it. Okay, keep 100% of the profits. So if you've ever wanted to have your own product, who has their own product? Anybody here have their own product? So if you wanted to have your own product, you can use this. Okay, so now when you sign up, expect to receive, all the emails. OLSP is my, I want to say affiliate house, I guess if you want to call it that. So you get emails from OLSP and from Wayne Crow, and one from me asking you to join my school group because that's where the product is delivered. It's delivered in my school group. And so if you don't see those, reach out to Jeremy so we can make sure that you get taken care of. Oh, you have several products. Okay, good. I think it's important to have your own products. You promote other people's products as well, but, create your own. So definitely reach out to Jeremy if you don't see your emails coming in. And actually, I was going to give you my email. Just let him, you just reach out to him. He can reach me on Teams if something goes awry. All right, so let me drop the link into the chat. Jeremy, I don't have rights to do. Oh, there you go. Jeremy. Yeah, so if you can drop the link to, there we go. Yes, reelsrevolution.com/Jeremy. So you're going to get the full package, Reels Revolution, getting your account set up, best way to find content, how to shoot your reels, how to edit your reels, 30-day content planner, plus the extra, the dripped content, algorithm fast track guide, shorts inspiration, 3,300. Actually, again, I'm up to 3,800 viral done for you reels, the bot, the soft sell script vault, the Canva templates, and underneath this banner is the school group. You get all of that valued at $10,984. And for those who act fast, $1,500 off. Okay, for the first three, the one-on-one onboarding and the resale rights where you keep 100% of the money. Okay, none of it comes to me. You keep it all. All right. So normally, again, I offer this as $19.97. You could have made that up with just a few sales of the product and kept the profits. Let's see. Oh yeah, no problem, Keegan. I'm just reading. He has got a big comment. And so yeah, but remember I said you get 1,000 views. There's a guarantee that you'll get 1,000 views in your first 7 days. All right, and so just to reiterate, this is not, sitting on your hands and doing nothing. You want to follow the training, create and post the videos each day. And so you have to do the work. Work is required. But imagine, getting 1,000 views on your videos in your first week. Okay, how good is that going to feel? Just 1,000 views. And so with this $1,500 off for the first three buyers, you're going to invest just $497. All right. Now you just need one sale of Reels Revolution, and you've covered your entire investment. Just one sale. And so again, you get all of this, the whole package and all the extras, the content planner, fast track, the bot, Canva templates, all of that for $497. Okay, so just jump on that link that Jeremy posted, reelsrevolution.com/Jeremy. So if you want to be one of the first three to jump on it, act now, grab it quickly, because those 3 spots, especially with the resale rights, they're gonna disappear fast. All right. A lot of people want to be able to get 100% commission. There's not a whole lot you can get 100% commission on. Okay. So there's no, you don't have to sit and create anything. So invest money in creating. You just go out there and, post and sell it. All right. So again, there's no risk. It's a money back guarantee. So, if you don't invest, you can either keep struggling to get traffic, keep doing what you're doing, which of course will get you what you've always gotten. And I know you've been here for a while, hour and a half. So that I'm sure that's not what you want. You don't want to just keep getting the same thing over and over again. So if there's something holding you back, Dad would like you. He's occupied at the moment, or he'd be watching. Okay.
Hey, Beverly, can I just pop in here and say something real quick?
Yes, awesome.
I just wanted to say that I really and to be honest with everybody here, I didn't even know everything that you offered in this package. I just knew what you were doing and thought it was incredible. But man, the fact that everything that you're giving away here, I'm really impressed by a few different things, honestly. Number one, the fact that you're going to make it easy for everybody to get views. That's something that I personally need myself, is to be able to get tons of views and followers, because I'm not big on social media. And it's something that I really need to get into. I like that, but the fact that you're giving them the 3,300 viral done for you reels, like I even commented, my mind's blown. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a ton of those.
Yes, a lot.
It's huge. And the bot, I think, is huge, because once you start getting those views, just like you said, those people, or those comments are coming in. And the times that I have experimented with social media, that was a big thing. And I used ManyChat for a while, and it was just bonkers how many people will actually DM you for your stuff. So the fact that you're just handing that to them already kind of set up for them is huge. But I'll tell you what really blew me away, and that is that you're giving the resale rights to this with the 100% commissions to this program. Like, nobody does that. I've had programs where I'll give like 50%, right?
Okay, that's still good. That's really good.
Which is still good, but that's a huge thing. And when you're starting to make $500 payments and more, the bigger ticket payments, like you could obviously sell low ticket stuff, right?
Hmm.
And it takes so much more
Oh yeah.
time and effort to sell low ticket, and you got to get so many more sales. Whereas just a few handfuls of sales, just a handful of sales, you're making thousands of dollars
Yeah.
with a $500 a pop. And
Hmm.
so I think that's absolutely huge. And with one sale of selling the same program, you make your money right back.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great system, honestly. I'm going to be hitting the link myself,
Mhm.
and I think it's really something good that you've got here. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing this with people. And I'm going to
Yeah.
let you continue on if you have anything else that you want to share. But I just had
Yeah.
to say that I was really impressed by what you're offering here in this package. And I think most people here can actually recognize that too.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, and about the bot and the low ticket. So, no low ticket is nothing to sneeze at. I do, yeah, I appreciate low ticket, but with the bot, and you can use it in multiple ways, in multiple programs or multiple offers. You can put low ticket on autopilot. If you have a low ticket, $7, $17, even $97, you can put that sucker on autopilot and just let it go. You're not doing any work. So I don't turn my nose up at low ticket. You just again put it on autopilot and just let it work for you 24/7 while you focus on the bigger ticket items. Something else I was going to say. So that's the bot. I forgot when you were talking. So yeah, so the bot is fantastic for the low ticket. Oh, I know what it was. Talk about comments and being on social media. I, it's a great thing to not have to go into the comments or into the DMs, because in the DMs, people will drop all kinds of garbage in your DMs. Some of it, though, they're putting their own reels in your DMs. You don't have to worry about any of that. Sometimes people online, hey, oh, 3 a.m. in Sydney. Oh my gosh, Nicholas. Yeah, that's late. Yeah, so sometimes online, you're on social media, so I'm sure you know this, that people will be super nice, people will be super mean, and everything in between. And so to me, none of that is any of my business. So if people are going to be mean, I don't need to see it. I don't have to see it. People are going to be super nice. That's great, but I don't need to get a big head. So I don't need to see that either. And having the bot just eliminates all of that. You don't have to go into the comments at all, into the DMs at all. Okay, so just an extra extra benefit to me, in my opinion. So yeah, grab that link. And so Keegan says, yeah, we have a lot of low ticket stuff, one higher end, brand new. Yeah, Jeremy knows. Okay, yeah, you can put that on autopilot. And so that way you're not working, you're not, I mean, because your time is worth more than $7, or $17 or whatever it might be. Put it on autopilot. Don't say no to it. Don't stop doing it. Just put it on autopilot. Make that money coming in. All right, because those are buyers, right? Buyers, you want buyers because they will buy other stuff later. So fantastic, Keegan, for that. I want to show you this video from Wayne Crow and Paul Strachan real quick.
So, Paul, tell people what happened when you followed Beverly's training. Right, well, she did a marvellous training about Instagram. And to cut a long story short, for those who perhaps don't know what outliers are, it's a technique that Beverly taught, where you go onto Instagram, and I had an Instagram account pretty much from whenever I started with OLSP. I went through the training with OLSP, joined VIP, and part of that is setting up the Instagram account. And for about the last year, I suppose, it's just poodled along with very little traffic coming. Beverly did the training just literally a couple of weeks ago, and since then my Instagram account has taken off. I did drop in the chat earlier on there. I've had 850,000 views on my Instagram account in just a little over 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, my highest performing reel on there, 138,000 views. It's just taken off, and it's not difficult, but it is having the faith in the training and following it, I suppose, to the T. And if you can do that, and I'm no great shakes when it comes to, I'm no tech wizard or anything like that, but I can follow an instruction. And if you do that, that's it. It works.
Yeah, so that was Paul, and then we have Ray. Let's see, I guess I probably have to click.
Hey, what's going on here? My name is Ray Gamble. I'm with OLSP. And right now, I'd like to take the time to thank my coach and mentor, Beverly Samuel. Last week, Beverly, she put all of her students through a 5-day challenge. And basically, it was like a little boot camp for her students on affiliate marketing. She was giving us all the tips, giving us the game on how to get our businesses up and running. She taught us everything from automation, how to automate your business with all this modern technology, and how to go about and find leads, how to find the right audience, how to set up your email service and get your emails up and running so that you can be in business and be running an effective business with all of the tips and strategies that she was sharing with us.
Hey y'all, Linda Lou Fisher here. I just got to share something with you. Did you know that Beverly Samuel has helped thousands of people? I know this because, well, I'm one of them. I'm still a beginner in this online space, and let me tell you, I've hit my fair share of roadblocks. But Beverly, she's been a game changer. She's helped me with everything from maximizing my Facebook profile to little tweaks that make a big difference in my posts. Like just yesterday, she shared a super simple trick, how to change the font in a post and where to find the resource. I mean, who knew? But it's not just about the tech stuff. She's helped me shift my mindset because here's the thing. I don't want to be just a consumer. I want to be a producer. Actually, scratch that. I want to be an entrepreneur. And Beverly, she's been that guiding voice, always sharing her knowledge and showing up with authenticity. Now, this is just my opinion, but I truly believe Beverly is the ultimate go-giver. And if you haven't had the chance to learn from her yet, maybe it's time you do. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Okay, so that was a little bit from Linda and Ray and Paul. So I want to know if you guys have any questions. Drop them in the chat. I think Nicholas is, I don't know if he's going to bed or if he's getting ready for the day. He got up very early to be here. Appreciate that. So yeah, let me know what questions you have. I do have some that, people ask me all the time. I can go through those. So why don't I just do that? And then if you have questions, just drop them in and I can answer those. I may answer them as I go. Yeah, they may be part of this whole question set. All right, so let's start with this. I've got AI to do all this for me. Why do I need any of this? I get asked that a lot. So again, that's why I put this in the frequently asked questions. And so I have a lot to say about AI. I love AI, but people are getting more savvy about noticing AI, and it's hard to stay engaged. He's going to grab a coffee, no questions. Awesome, Nicholas. So yeah, people are they're getting smarter, they're getting more skeptical about it. And the AI twins, people create these AI twins. They're very impressive at first, but people quickly sense that they're not real. And, the AI twins, they multiply your output, not necessarily your impact. And so you want to be able to, create content that can move people to buy, not just give them content that's fun or funny, but move them toward a sale. And you need AI to know what to say and how to do that and how to grab people's attention. And it's not just, letting AI come up with the ideas and doing it. A lot of people will do that. Hey, ChatGPT, give me some ideas of, how to engage my audience. Well, we go with what works. And I use the algorithm. I use Instagram to tell me what works. And so unless you hook AI up to that, you're not going to get what you need out of AI. But it can clone your face and your voice, but it doesn't necessarily clone your passion, your conviction, and your strategies. So, put AI on top of or below Rules of Evolution, and then you've got something. Okay. But I do still encourage people as much as possible to show your face. Okay. I'm always encouraging that. Use AI a little bit if you need to. If you have to, okay, I do understand that. But if you show your face, you get a lot faster results, in my opinion. All right. Do I need any tech experience to get started? And the answer is not at all. Okay. The program is going to walk you through step by step, how to get everything set up. So plus give you the Canva templates, the done for you Reels pack, the viral Reels, and it's built for beginners. I was a beginner. I had no clue what I was doing. And I found it out, trial and error, and just put it together for you, so you don't need any experience. All right, which is great. Will this still work if I don't want to show my face on camera? Absolutely. All right, showing your face, your real face, helps. Again, it builds trust faster, but you can definitely get a lot of views without going on camera. And I have a few reels in that one screenshot that I showed with all the different reels with more than 1 million views. Some of them were faceless. Okay, so you're going to get the faceless reels on top of that as well. The templates, automation tools, all of that is in the program. So, that's all faceless stuff to help you succeed. All right, so how soon can I start seeing results? Paul saw results in just a matter of a few days. A lot of students will see views and engagement, increase in their first week. Okay, so it's going to vary. I can't say it'll happen as big as 1,000 views in just a few, or 10,000 views in a few days. But when you do it consistently, the results come. And of course, there's that guarantee, 1,000 views in your first week. All right. So things do happen fast. And for me, I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the challenge that I started, the thing that started this whole thing for me, things blew up. It took 15 days. And that's, that might be fast. But that was blowing up in a huge way. So 100,000 followers, 100,000 views, I should say. And then it got bigger and bigger and bigger from there. So it happens fast. All right. How does a no DM sales system actually work? So this is a question I actually love because I love talking about the bot. So it automates the conversation, so you don't have to cold message anyone. And again, if you post some content, someone comments, it will reply to their comment for you. And then it knows who they are. So it's going to DM them in Instagram, and it's going to, initiate that conversation in the DMs from the comments to the DMs. It's going to warm them up through a conversation that will be tailored to you, will personalize it to you. And then it's going to drop your link, and, you can invite them to your Facebook group or your school group on top of that. So it can do other things as well. Now, if you create content and people DM you, then it will take that conversation, from hi, hello, through warming them up to dropping your link and inviting them to wherever else you want them to go. So that's something you can do without being glued to your inbox. So we want to make sure you're not having to sit there in your chair, day and night trying to answer people's DMs. Sometimes, again, people get stupid in the DMs, in the comments. Sometimes they're wonderful in the DMs and the comments. And you don't have to weed through all of that yourself. Okay, so let's eliminate all of that. Are there any hidden or ongoing costs after I buy? No. The program is a one-time investment. It's all self-contained. Later on, if you want to scale and do something, more, you might buy some different tools or some additional training. But everything you need to start and grow and Explode is all right here. So you don't even have to buy a ring light. I mean, I have a ring light, I have a couple of ring lights. And if you just have your phone, which you probably already have a phone, right? And you have a window, the light coming in, that's all you need. That's all you need. You don't have to even spend 20 bucks on a ring light. I would suggest it because, you might want to film at night, or you might be in a country where it gets dark early. I went to where did I go? I went to Sweden, and it got dark at like 2:30, and it was apocalyptic, and it's like, oh, I can't handle this. I have to come home. And so places like that, Alaska, there's a lot of darkness. But for the most part, most of us have a decent amount of daylight. All you need is, have that window, have your phone pointed to your face, the window on the other side, and shoot your content. You just need to not have shadows under your eyes and that sort of thing. So you don't need to buy anything else unless you want to. No ongoing costs. Do I need a big following already for this to work? Absolutely not at all. I started with still 23 followers. They were my friends and family again. So for my business, basically I had zero, okay, where my business was concerned. And so the system is designed to grow your following from scratch and also teach you at the same time how to monetize. All right. So you don't have to have any, you can have zero. We can start a brand new account and start doing this. How do I know what to say in my videos? You don't have to figure it out. Okay. You will learn that in the training. So you're never stuck on what to say. You will know exactly what to say. All right. So don't worries about that. Can I use this for different niches, or is it only for affiliate marketing? You can use it for any niche. So fitness, coaching, local business, e-commerce, thrifting. If you own a veterinary clinic, you can use it. I use affiliate marketing as an example because that's what I do. Okay, I'm an affiliate marketer, but traffic and conversion system apply across the industry. So anyone who's doing business online, they have to have traffic. And otherwise you don't have a business if you don't have traffic. And so traffic is the lifeblood of any business. And I like to say as well, it's the oxygen. And I think of my business as a living organism, and I have to feed it, I have to nurture it, which means I have to be consistent. And so you have to do that no matter what your niche is. So I think we're coming up on the last couple of questions. So get to that link and purchase, before we end today. And that is, again, Reels Revolution. Oh, there it is. Jeremy's on it, reelsrevolution.com/Jeremy. All right. So, will I need expensive equipment to create reels? No. Okay. Well, I think I just kind of answered that. No, just your smartphone, good lighting, and the training shows you how to maximize what you have. Plus, I just showed you how to, just use the light that's coming in. Sometimes you can film outside. Just go on your back porch or your front porch, or while you're walking, you can create content. You just need natural light. If you don't have natural light, then you get a ring light. Okay. Yep, that's it. That's all you need. How do I actually make money from these reels once I start posting? Okay. So the system will show you how to link your reels to your offer. Okay. We'll use the bot to drop the link and to automate that whole conversation so you don't have to worry about it. So you'll want to have an offer that converts. So if you don't have that, let me know. I can hook you up with something. One of the offers that I use, Jeremy might have offers that you might want to use. It sounds like a few people have low ticket offers, high ticket offers. Now, high ticket offers, I don't hook this up to high ticket offers myself. I like to use kind of a mid, and because high ticket offers, kind of a special animal. You want to get face to face with people, nurture them, and just kind of bring them along. And it takes a little bit more than a little conversation with a bot to actually get people to part with thousands of dollars. So definitely don't hook your bot up to that. But if you have something that's, a few $100 on down, you definitely want to, use automation for that. So that's how you make money with these reels while you're, once you start posting. Oh, that's somebody's Firefly. Tom's Firefly is speaking to me. All right, so I'll put this back up. If there are any additional questions, let me know. Drop them in the chat and I can answer those. Otherwise, definitely get on over to that link and be one of those first three. I don't know, I've not been monitoring to see whether the three are already gone. But just in case they're still available, hop on over there to that link and get that taken care of if you want to be one of the first three to get all of this plus for $497 plus the one-on-one plus the 100% resale rights, plus the time that we'll spend in group coaching to get your reels up and going, get your traffic flowing. Any additional questions? Let's see. I don't see any questions, Jeremy.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming and showing us this, Beverly. I really love what you got going on here. And I think everybody can see the value of what's going on, of what you have. This is, like I said, this is something that I personally need myself. So
Mhm.
I'm very interested in it myself. But come highly regarded Wayne Crow. You mentioned him a lot in this.
Mhm.
He's been a friend of mine for many, many
Oh,
years.
really? Okay.
So he's a good guy. So you're learning from the best, and
Yep.
and now you're leading. You're
Mhm.
not just learning, you're leading, and I love that.
Yeah.
You have that very personal personality. I'm sure everybody picked up
Thank
on
you.
that. So I appreciate you coming out and being here. I appreciate everybody that showed up and spent some time with us. And if you have any questions, you can let me put my email address in here
Okay.
again for everybody. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to me. I don't know if you want to put yours in there or not. And then here's the link
Um,
again for
uh,
anybody that wants to take a screenshot of that. Everybody copy, paste it, something somewhere so that you can have it off to the side. If you have questions,
yeah.
feel free to hit me up. Hey, Keegan, thanks for showing up, Keegan. Tell your
Yeah.
dad I said hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Take
He's a
care of that
good
emergency.
friend.
Yeah, I can't type in the chat. I can type, but just to myself and to you. So if you want to
Oh,
drop mine in there, you can just kind of copy and paste it, I guess, if you want to. But
I don't know how to set that. Okay.
uh,
Okay.
it's probably yeah, I'm not sure. But it's all good. I appreciate the time everybody's taken to spend with me these last couple hours. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed chatting with all of you. And yeah, I look forward to seeing who jumped in and getting this one traffic.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'm gonna hit the end button. Thank you everybody again for coming out,
So,
and we'll see you again soon.
bye. Thank you.